Hi, my name is Danielle Chauvet, and I am the owner of a business called Knitting Nicely. I am a knitting coach, and I can help people learn how to knit. I'm also a homeschool mom. I homeschool 6 children. The oldest is 17. She'll be graduating next year, and the youngest is 7, and she'll be turning 8 in August. I just wanted to encourage anyone who is a business owner or someone who works full time that they can also homeschool. It's an easy thing to do. It's fun. It's a great way to connect with your children. It's something that I have been passionate about since the time my oldest was born. Right about this time of year is when I start thinking about the books that my kids have gone through the past year and deciding which things have really resonated with them, which curriculum they have been able to grow and learn the most from, which things they have not learned as much as I would want them to learn from. And then I gather information about the curriculum that's available. I usually go through timberdoodle.com and I look through the curriculum kits that they have up on their site. And then I look through and see, okay, this curriculum really worked for my child last year. I'm going to order this again for next year. Or their kits are completely customizable, so you can take out different books or curriculum that you don't necessarily love, and you can add in other curriculum that you do love. So that's how I run ordering different curriculum for my kids. Some of my favorite curriculum has always been Apologia, science. My kids love that. I love reading it to them. They just have a really great humor that's involved in it. Another one would be Math UC and Spelling UC. I used to use Saxon exclusively because that's what I used when I was homeschooled. I was homeschooled from 5th grade through high school, and my parents used Saxon math, which I really loved, but my kids didn't seem to really resonate with it as well. So we switched over to Math UC a couple years ago, and they seem to really love it. And Spelling UC is the same thing. They really seem to learn a lot from those two subjects. Another thing that I do in my homeschooling, because I have 6 kids, I don't have the time in the day to spend one-on-one time with each of them in separate subjects. So what I do is more of a classroom type setting. So for 4 of my kids, they go through the same history curriculum, which right now is knotgrass. So the older students will be reading the knotgrass history lesson, and then they will help the younger students go through some questions or do the map work, do some of the extra reading, and then they'll ask the younger students questions about it. Same thing with science. I have several of my children in one curriculum of science. And then the next year, all 3 of them or all 2 of them, depending on how I feel their grade should be, how well they're understanding. A group of them will be in one curriculum, and they'll go through that curriculum together in a kind of a classroom setting. And I really feel that that's a good way to do it because it gives them a way to like bounce ideas off of each other. If one child is struggling with an idea, they can ask another child a question about it and kind of discuss it together. It turns out to be a really great form of learning. So that's how we do it in our homeschool. My kids have learned to be pretty independent. I tend to choose curriculum that is more student-led than teacher-led, and the days are mostly the children doing independent work, and then if they have questions, they can come to me in the afternoon and ask, hey mom, I don't really understand this part, or I got this question wrong, how do I fix it, or different things like that. And especially the older students, the ones that are in high school, I allow them to have the answer key, and they're on an honor system during most of the week, going through their work and correcting their own work. And then at the end of the week, I make sure that their work is correct and that they're actually understanding it and not just putting the answers down from the answer key. I really feel like that's a really good way to form a mindset of I'm learning this because it's important to learn, not just because somebody is telling me to learn it. And it also teaches them an independent type form of learning so that they can continue that learning throughout their adulthood. So that's me. That's how I run my homeschool. I hope that was helpful to you, and I wish you all the best.